present. Welcome to LNTV News Live. This is a 30-minute presentation of major news, views, interviews, background reports, and analysis shifting the destiny of Liberia, Africa, and our global village. It's Tuesday, March 12, 2019. My name is Zokwe Beslokon and anchoring this edition of the program LNTV News Live. In our headlines, President George Manewia tours pro-poor projects appoints Usman T. Jallo as religious advisor on Islamic affairs. As a means of bringing credibility to the education sector, Riverside County Senator joins calls for the setting up of an academic crimes court. Plans are underway to open for the first time in Liberia an all-women political party, says the executive director of NAMOT, Eddie Jawolo. And away from Liberia, or UN investigation says violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year may amount to crimes against humanity. These stories plus many other developments are all coming up in the program LNTV News Live. But first, we are taking a short break to be back with the faces of the newsmakers. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. President George Manewia on Tuesday toured major pro-pro projects across Montserrat County. The president visited the Coca-Cola Factory Road, Johnsonville Road, Pipeline Road, among others. Public Works Minister Mabutu Yimpan has been explaining more about the essence of the tour.
You know, the inspection of projects to ensure performance and to ensure project completion and implementation on time has now become the hallmark of this administration, where Mr. President has made it his business to visit and inspect all ongoing projects in the country. And this inspection signifies how much interest the president has in these projects. So today we've come to bring this president to inspect this project, which is a 6.1 kilometer project from Coca-Cola Factory to the Airwell Junction. But the first phase of this project is from Coca-Cola Factory to the rail light. So this is the first phase that is in full swing. As you can see, the excavation works have begun, the drainages have been laid, and works are in full swing.
Mr. Minister,
so Mr. President has come to see what is happening.
Mr. Minister, this project is owned
This project is owned by the government of Liberia, with funding from the Liberia Reconstruction Trust Fund and funding from the government of Liberia. The government of Liberia's contribution to this project is 47 million, and the rest of the funding is coming from what we call the Liberia Reconstruction Trust Fund. The project will be completed by 2021, the earliest.
Meanwhile, Police Inspector General Patrick Sudu, who was on the tour, cautioned people in the public to stay away from the project site as interference could hinder the ongoing road construction works.
Work is low tedious because we have people working, we have people standing at the same time, so the police have to be there to ensure that the marketers, they don't push upon the work that is being done there. And these people who are working here, they also need security. So the police work is just a 24/7 work. We are providing necessary security for the people and the workers. Mr. Dawada, a lot of places being put arrest being made by you and the Liberia National Police. Some investigators will that there have been no reports, and people are being wondering what happened in Liberia. I saw you made reference to the case you're talking about, because the case the protecting case and allegedly involving civil mayor.
President George Manewia and other officials of government have signed the Book of Condolence for fallen Montserrat County Senator Geraldine Doe Sheriff. The signing took place Tuesday morning at the rotunda of the Capitol building in Monrovia. The body of the senator will on Thursday be removed from the Samuel Striger Funeral Palace and taken to the Capitol building to lie in state at 10 a.m. in the morning and returned to the funeral home later. On Friday, March 15, wakekeeping will take place at the Painesville City Hall, and on Saturday, March 16, funeral rites will take place at the Sacred Heart Cathedral Parish on Broad Street, followed by burial at the Castle Lawn Memorial Cemetery in Brownsville, Monserrado County. Riverside County Senator Dallas Goe says he supports the setting up of an academic crimes court in the country. According to him, the setting up of the court is now a priority in Liberia because the credibility of the sector has lost its essence due to several visible impediments, adding that it is about time to regain aid.
Down some of these universities, close down some of these schools that are not up to standard, and begin to improve the government sector itself. Get a William High School, see those things that are working, those things that are not working, and begin to take the necessary steps. And then, we begin to set up the academic crimes court, and I support the minister on this, the academic crimes court. Is it a priority? A serious priority. That's the only way we're going to regain our credibility. We have lost credibility internationally. Because why? The weakness in the supervision of our exams and our tests and in our schools. The system has gotten so weak, it's deteriorated to the point that words that I never learned in school, my children know those words.
At the same time, the chairman on education at the Liberian Senate noticed a complete weakness in the system and wants tangible and practical action to address it. Senator Goe told LNTV News Tuesday that it is now key to implement all the necessary policies on the books on education and do away with the many theories which he noted is not sufficient for Liberia. He at the same time recommends strong political will from President George Weah to ensure that the sector is more vibrant.
The educational sector and services to improve require strong political will, because we've had too many education conferences. Sorry for interruption. Strong political will from which end? The president? The president, the minister of education. Because why am I saying this? In terms of policies, in terms of whatever instrument that we need to make this country to be better, we have them on the book already. The only thing that is required now is implement those things that are on the book. Let's take, for instance, I will always say this. The beginning process is with the 2011 education reform law. That is the beginning of any reform process at the Ministry of Education. So let's go back to that law. Begin the process of implementing those things that are enshrined in that law, and then we begin to see the faults. We begin to see the successes, and then we begin to amend. So if our education process will begin that.
Internal Affairs Minister Vani Sirleaf has re-emphasized the need for Liberians to see unity, peace, and reconciliation as the best way forward to help develop the country. Minister Sirleaf made the remarks at the end of his nationwide tour recently in the country. Julius Conton has the rest of the story.
In a joyous mood, citizens of Liberia, especially in rural parts of the country, received Internal Affairs Minister Vani Sirleaf and his delegation during his assessment tour across the country. Traditional rites were performed as part of that occasion. The people of Lo-Fi County, including citizens across the 15 political subdivisions of the country, saw the visit of Internal Affairs Minister Vani Sirleaf as a dream come true for them, especially due to the current challenges they are experiencing. Well, one of the many issues that they are confronted with is the inclusion of some local leaders on government payroll.
2 clergies are now on payroll. They have worked for more than 6 years. More than 12 general clergies are now on payroll. So that the district is the least chief that are now on payroll.
According to Internal Affairs Minister Vanessa Leaf, he has so much passion for residents in rural Liberia and branded his visit to them as a light at the end of the tunnel.
He asked me firstly to tell you, yes, he is well. Yes, the country is at peace. Yes, we're having some economic difficulty. It is a little bit tough, the economy. But I should tell you, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Minister Salif at the same time encouraged the people of Liberia to see unity, peace, and reconciliation as the best way forward for this country.
We will not achieve any of those if we don't come together and reconcile among ourselves. He said the first thing we should do, let's keep the peace that we have. We should throw bundle on our head. That has stuck for some time now. He said we should continue to be at peace. We should do that. And the only way we can achieve that, we have to forgive one another. We got to live together. We got to work together.
Meanwhile, outlining some of the challenges facing the people of Golahun in Lofa County was his commissioner.
We got health centers in the district that have no tablet paracetamol. You want it. You go in the market, they sell no guinea drugs around here. When you go in the market, this will tell you, say, take 10 paracetamol, they go to buy it 2 for 5. When you buy 2 for 5 and you take it, the headache cool down, it stop right there. They're not going to continue no more because there's no way that they're giving them a complete dosage. So at the end of the day, the death rate is high.
The tour of Internal Affairs Minister Vanessa Leaf and his delegation across Liberia was meant to, among other things, acquaint him with physical conditions, including other issues affecting Liberians across Liberia, as the government, as part of its priority on the Popo agenda for prosperity and development, is to place the people at the center of development issues.
Many thanks to Julius Conton for that report. Well, if you have just joined us, this is a reminder that you are watching LNTV News Live, a 30-minute presentation of major news, views, interviews, background reports, and analysis about Liberia, Africa, and our global village. It's Tuesday, March 12, 2019. My name is Zokwe Beslokonen, anchoring this edition of the program. Let's take a relook at our top stories. President George Manawia towards Popo projects appoints Usman T. Jallo as religious advisor on Islamic affairs. As a means of bringing credibility to the education sector, Riverside County Senator Dallas Goe joins calls for the setting up of an academic crimes court. Plans are underway to open for the first time in Liberia an all-women political party, says the executive director of NAMOT, Eddie Jawolo, and of the Home Front or UN investigation says violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year may amount to crimes against humanity. LNTV News Live takes a short break, and when we come back, we will join Koluba Zete for sports.
and good evening and welcome to the sports, where we start with news from the Liberia Football Association ahead of the Lone Star of Liberia's match against the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Liberia Football Association has written a communication to the Confederation of African Football CAF requesting that the venue for the March 24 crucial qualifier be changed from Kinshasa to an alternative venue. The Liberia Football Association in a communication said it is concerned with the alarming Ebola situation in Kinshasa or the DR Congo. The LFA Secretary General Isaac Montgomery said the communication was sent to CAF on March 10, and CAF has communicated to the Liberia Football Association, assuring the local FA that the African parent body of football will look into the matter and get to the Liberia Football Association. Liberia currently sits in second place in Group G behind Zimbabwe, ahead of that next weekend's serious qualifying match in the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, the Lone Stars technical staff are due to release the squad that will be traveling to DR Congo by this weekend. Still with football, Invincible 11 Nai finally pick up their first win in the LFA 2019 league season. The Yellow Boys did so on today with a 1-0 victory over Samira FC. Well, a lot of controversies were in that game, but the Yellow Boys finally emerged as champions, collecting the first 3 points of the season, where the Rollers, the rival to Invincible 11, are Idas Muddy Barrow, on the other hand, suffer their first defeat of the season, falling to Barracks Young Controllers 2 in Buchanan City at the Doris Williams Stadium. Daniel To scored a lone goal to give PYC a 1-0 victory over Mati Barrow in Buchanan. In other results, Tony FC lost to Jar FC 2-0, while Freeport FC were the biggest winners on Tuesday, scoring 4 goals against visiting Nimba Kwado. Brestow and Junior Professionals fought each other to a 1-1 draw, and Parks and B.A. Martin also managed a 2-2 draw and a third straight draw for the defending champions, B.A. Mountain. To athletics, a delegation of Liberian athletes are in Abu Dhabi in the United Emirates. They are there to participate in this year's Special Olympics World Games. 8 members of that delegation departed the country at the weekend, and they have already arrived. And on today, 2 of Liberia's sprinters were in their preliminary rounds to fight for a place. 16-year-old sprinter Hassatu Dua finished second in a 200-meter race in the preliminary rounds, while 18-year-old Yvonne Ashat booked the first spot in his preliminary qualifying rounds to stand a chance of progressing to the competition, except Samuel Smith, Liberia's All Ali, in that competition could not race due to some problem with his paper. But the organizer said they take the blame and hope the kid can compete in the preliminaries on tomorrow. Elsewhere, former Manchester United manager Louis van Gaal has retired from football, with England striker Marcus Rashford and others paying tribute. The Dutchman, 67, handed an 18-year-old Rashford his professional contract for United in February 2016. And Zidane said he's happy to make a return to his old ground, that's at the Bernabeu in Spain. Zidane was reappointed yesterday after 10 months since he resigned as manager of Real Madrid, having given them a third in-row championship of Europe. Meanwhile, the UEFA Champions League is continuing tonight. Juventus, playing at home, will have to overturn a 2-0 deficit against Spanish boys Atletico Madrid if Cristiano Ronaldo is to be in the quarterfinals in the 4th straight season. That's the 5th straight season of his career. He won the 3 past trophies with Real Madrid, and he's fighting for another with Juventus. That's it for the sports.
to Koluba Zizi for filling us in with the word of sports. We continue with the program LNTV News Live. NEMOT Executive Director Eli Jawolu says plans are on the way to establish an all-women political institution to encourage more women participate in political and governance issues. Speaking at the regional training workshop for women in political leadership, Mr. Jawolu said the idea is aimed at ensuring more women are at the legislature.
We have a platform provided and every electoral district will have a young, experienced, educated woman who has done some work on that party ticket. All women will be very helpful for women, regardless about the policy and everything. We know we did some work during the 2017 election. We trained more than 50 women. They couldn't find space. They couldn't get to the political parties. They would get there, they go to the smaller party convention, energy, they drop their name. So go.
Also speaking at the program, UN Women Deputy Country Representative Sajita Tapa termed as an emergency situation the low number of women in political participation and leadership in Liberia.
As they say, numbers do not lie. There are only 2 women ministers proper out of a full 19 ministerial slots available. Of over 2,000 local government positions in Liberia, less than 6% are occupied by women. And geographically speaking, out of the 15 counties in Liberia have no women represented in the national legislature, where women account for only 10% of the 103 members, that is 1 out of 20.
For her part, Vice President Joel Howard Taylor challenged the young women at the gathering to think critically in choosing their leaders during political times.
15 people in the Senate went for elections, 1 came back. The lower house, the same way. 77 persons went, I think only 22 people went back. People keep changing them. You listen on the radio after 6 months when somebody is elected, oh, they're not doing well. But then you ask that person, what am I going to go to? You just join your friend there. The person popular, that's what on our side. Sometimes the most popular thing is not the best thing. But do people think critically on the issues at bar? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But that vision will carry you, because once you go through those difficulties, you know how to remain stable. I would have fallen off the bandwagon long ago. If I imagine all of the abuse, if I imagine all of the disadvantages, if I imagine all of the challenges just on simple issues, I would have said, let me do that thing I go so I can go to NGO work. I'm sure I would have gotten a job somewhere, and I'll be making my serious money. I will be better.
Riverside County Senator Dallas Goe has challenged President George Weah to take the bull by the horn in fighting corruption at all levels. Senator Goe, speaking in an LNTV interview, said corruption has been one of the reasons for Liberia's backwardness. As such, he wants the Liberian leader to learn from past mistakes and, in his words, kick corruption in the face.
Liberians should not be spectators in the economic process. This is key to President Weah. Look, if President Weah, together with us, the legislature, in all of the sectors, will, get ideas, take the bull by the horn in this era, trust me, this president will go down in history as one of the best in this country, because our problem in this country is economic. 99% of the problem that we face in this country is economic.
Well, following a recent fire disaster at Cottington University, the administration has provided funds to 14 affected students. 400 United States dollars have been given to students who lost everything in a fire, and 100 United States dollars to students who were able to recover some of their things. Kwesi Tete is the Director of Communications at Cottington University, Bon County.
We are here, and Cottington is going on. Even after the fire incident, students have returned to classes. The administration will be working tirelessly to make sure that students go back to classes. We've gone through the de-traumatization process of our students. You heard from the student director. We have guiding counselors who have talked to the student council then because we know they've been traumatized. That process has completed. They've been relocated into very comfortable dormitories.
Meanwhile, a prominent son of Bon County, Jeremiah Solonte, is calling on the female students to remain calm as the university is addressing the matter.
Well, it was unfortunate when we heard of the fire incident on the campus of the university. We don't know what was the cause of the fire. The administration is still conducting some background investigation, but it's unfortunate that the biggest female dormitory was gutted by fire.
Montserrat County District 13 Representative Edward Pape Flomo is calling for a reconciled district to enhance sustained development and peace. Speaking at a reconciliation gathering in the district, Representative Flomo also condemned the November 17, 2018 violence leading to the election that brought him to power.
Reconciliation is a restoration of friendly relation, forgetting the past and reaching for the future. It is observed that it is obvious that after the heated political process like the one we participated in the district, people may feel hurt. There may be individuals who may feel cheated, or communities that may feel marginalized.
Also speaking at the program, a defeated candidate at the District 13 by-election, Cornelia Kura Tukpat, vowed to work along with the district leadership to foster development.
Politics is not war, and I come from the school of thought that there has to be a change in the way we get involved in politics, especially the young people in Liberia. The political process is over. We had an elections. Edward won the elections. We congratulated him. It is now time that we all work together for the overall progress of the district, because that is what we claim.
A visiting Liberian prelate, Prophetess Florence Brown, is calling on the religious leaders to redirect the nation that promotes the values of God. Reverend Brown maintained that national and individual repentance will ensure salvation for the people of Liberia. She spoke in an interview with this station Monday.
When I came for the August 24th, the Lord gave me a word to give unto our leader. For our nation called fast and prayer. The only person that is to call it fast and prayer, it was Opon. That the Lord said he should be able to call upon the nation for our nation fast and prayer. Everything should be shut down. And then as God could have it, I met his spiritual advisors. I met Emmanuel Nimle and I met Sister Kiabe. I said the Lord said March, there should be a declaration of fast and prayer for the nation.
Meanwhile, Reverend Brown is at the same time urging President George Weah to declare a fast and prayer to enhance national healing in Liberia.
For repentance, and he gave me the word in the book of Hosea, chapter 6 and 7, that he's calling Liberia for total repentance, and through that the nation will be revived, and also we should start rising upon Weah, and for us to be able to look at ourselves, because we ourselves are the one that brought these calamities on ourselves and not upon. He said, go and tell them to repent.
Let's now bring you our international news. A UN investigation says violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year may amount to crimes against humanity. It says at least 500 people were killed, including families burned alive in their homes and a 2-year-old who was thrown into a septic tank. Ethnic violence broke out when one community wanted to bury one of their traditional chiefs on another community's land. The investigation adds that violence could flare up again at any time. Investigators say the violence between 16 and 18 December was planned and executed with the support of customary chiefs. Members of the Batende community attacked Bununu villages with extreme violence and speed, allowing little time to escape. It adds that the provincial authorities in Yombi, in Mai Dombi province in the west of the country, appear to have failed in their responsibility to protect the population. With that from the foreign scene, let's recap our headlines. President George Manawia towards Propo projects, appoints Usman T. Jallo as religious advisor on Islamic affairs. As a means of bringing credibility to the education sector, Riverside County Senator Dallas Square joins calls for the setting up of an economic crimes court. Plans are underway to open for the first time in Liberia an all-women political institution, says the executive director of NAMOT, Eddie Jawolo, and of the Homefront or UN investigation says violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year may amount to crimes against humanity. Well, this is how we come to the end of the program LNTV News Live. Many thanks to you all for your viewing role. Many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, technicians, searchers, and editors for making this package a success. LNTV News Live is a production of the television department here at the Liberia Broadcasting System. This program comes on every Monday to Friday, with the early edition at 10 to 10:30 in the morning and the late edition at 8 to 8:30 in the evening. On behalf of the entire television staff, my name is Zokoi Beslo Konen. I've been anchoring this edition. Bye-bye from Painesville.